Hey everyone, Skull902 here, back for the finale of Yoshi's Island for the Super Nintendo. We're going to be going through the second half of World 6. It's the home stretch, the end game. We're going to be making our way to the final boss, and it all starts with the very long cave, on our journey to save baby Luigi and the stork. Bring baby Mario back home. It's going to be all good. This level is the source of that one particular section in auto-scrollers I was talking about earlier, but we'll get to that when we get to that. What I would like to start off with here is, of course, like in most parts, the Crimbo Chronicles. I have one more installment of that to get through, and, much like I usually do, I encourage you to go ahead and if you have any Christmas traditions or memories or whatever, and even if you don't celebrate Christmas, whatever holiday stuff that that you do, please go ahead and write that down in the comments. I'd be happy to hear what you have to say and all that. So cheer, buddy. But, last time I mentioned that I was a wrestling fan and got into the story of how I, became a fan, since that has a lot to do with Christmas. But, speaking of, Christmas traditions and all that, WWE themselves have one. It's called Tribute to the Troops, and the first 4 years that they did it, I was a regular watcher of WWE's content, so I thought that I could talk a little bit about that particular event, because it's a really cool idea that they do. Back then, when it was originally going on, they would travel out to the Middle East to entertain some soldiers who weren't able to come home for the holidays. And, whether or not you agree with the reason why they were there, which please leave that out of the comments. I don't want this to turn into a political discussion. I do think that it's a cool idea that they teamed up with the USO to put on these shows and whatnot. Because not only was it just a nice gesture, of course, but I don't know, I always found the aesthetic of the shows, them going to, a military base and doing a show outside. WWE isn't usually known for going to unusual venues, so, the way that the shows are set up, typically speaking, is pretty cool. Sometimes, they'll, nowadays, now that they're not, actually going overseas to entertain the troops, sometimes they will just hold it in an arena like they usually do, which I don't think looks nearly as cool. The ones that I watched back in the day were done on military bases and stuff. Sometimes they'll go do those outdoors. But, I remember watching footage of, what I believe is the 2013 one, and they were doing that one in, an aircraft carrier. That looked sick as fuck. It's just, a really cool thing of them to do. Also, this here is the, section, that I was talking about that can be a real pain in the ass, because, it moves fairly fast. But, this part isn't so bad. It's the platforming bit near the end. I need to keep myself at the very edge of the screen to try and avoid the chomp rocks that can really fuck you up in this section. So, yeah, not the biggest fan, but, whatever. But back on Tribute to the Troops, I don't really remember much about the shows themselves that I watched, between 2003, the first one that they did, and 06. But, there's, a couple memories associated with that. For instance, John Cena, doing a bit of a rap, for the troops. And, Stone Cold Steve Austin, coming out and delivering stunners to people on the first one. I remember, The Undertaker and Heidenreich in the main event of, the second one. Don't really remember much from the third one. In the fourth, I remember The Undertaker versus Johnny Nitro. But I think that during that particular match, like, my dad came over to pick my brothers and I up to bring him over to his house. So, like, my viewing of that tribute to the troops was interrupted. So, you know, it's just a cool thing that WWE does, and I figured that I could mention it. Speaking of, you know, like, WWE stuff, I did want to very briefly mention, because I remembered this, like, I talked about that depressing Santa visit. That wasn't really a visit, you know, like the one where my little sister got sad that she missed out. So I guess a non-depressing detail about that particular trip to the mall would be that, like, at some point, I think we went to Borders, was where we went. And I got my very first wrestling magazine there. It was the inaugural Holiday 2003 edition of SmackDown magazine. And John Cena was on the cover of that one. Fun times, at least, you know, for me. My little sister, not so much, but if there's one non-depressing aspect of that particular visit to the mall, that would be it. It was a really interesting bookstore, too. But, you know, I'm rambling on about this now. This particular level, I do want to make mention. It's very maze-like, and it can really, like, take a long time to complete if you're not sure what to do. Like, before I even recorded this, I watched a 100% run of it, just to make sure that I knew what the hell I was doing. So, that's how I was able to make it through this one so quick in the recording and look fairly competent doing it. I get like a 98 though, which is really disappointing. I thought that I got 2 red coins that apparently I did not get on my way. But aside from that, you know, like, it's a bit of a tricky level, and I have a bit of a story about it that I'll talk about later. But you know, the last thing that I want to mention for Crimbo Chronicles, just on the subject of like tribute to the troops, it reminded me of performing in the choir for my elementary school's Christmas play in 2005. So for a bit of backstory, I, of course, was in the choir in my school's Christmas play in 2005, but the year before I wanted to be an actor, but I couldn't make it that day, like, on the play itself, because I was sick. So that was a bit disappointing. So, like, when they were doing it the next year, and they were asking, all right, guys, do you want to be an actor, or do you want to be in the choir? I was like, I want to try my hand at acting again. And they were like, well, you know, you selected to do that last year, and even though you weren't in the actual play, we're going to make you be on the choir. I was a little disappointed about that, but you know what's kind of fun, at least in my opinion, was I may have been disappointed at about that at first, but like, practicing for the choir and, like, actually getting in on it and performing was really, really fucking fun. So, like, we had different groups for the choir. There was, like, one song that all of us sang together, and it made use of American Sign Language. I'm not exactly sure what that song was, but my particular group, we practiced with the school counselor, and she provided the music and whatnot. But, like, the songs that we did were I'd Like to Teach the World to Sing, where we had, like, Coke shirts with the polar bears on them, and we carried around, like, bottles of Coca-Cola. as props, both of which we got to keep afterward, which was a nice little thing. Nice little reward for our efforts. And that was all fine and good and whatnot, but what I in particular really loved about that like Christmas play was we sang I'll Be Home for Christmas, and that's where the whole like tribute to the troops thing comes in, because we dedicated that performance to the soldiers who were overseas and whatnot. The parents gave us a big ovation when one of the kids like announced it before we started singing the song. And we just went out there, and I feel like, you know, for like a group of 10, 11, 12-year-olds that we did a fairly alright job with it. But, you know, whether or not the performance was actually good, it was just super fun to get out there and, you know, do that number, I feel. My counselor, as I mentioned, you know, she was like the director of sorts, and I think she had a kid who was in the military, and they provided like jackets for all of us to have. I went fucking all out, and I even got like camo pants and boots and stuff. It was nuts. I really cared about that performance for whatever reason, because I liked the way that it sounded. You know. It was just fun, like practicing and whatnot for that. It took like a couple months, so we were practicing like since before Halloween to get this thing right. And I'm glad it turned out the way that it did. And I fucking love that song. You know, I'll Be Home for Christmas. It was the first time that I had ever heard it, and I swear I can't find that particular version of the song that we sung either, which is kind of sad. Like, you know, looking through the list of covers of that song on Wikipedia and whatnot, I have not found that particular rendition of it, and I'm rather sad about that. I really wish that I could. That would lead into, like, the next month we did it again, that group for an old folks home, but it didn't quite feel the same way. So, you know, and I guess one last thing that I can mention about learning that to perform it at the Christmas play was there was another function the next year that my friend and I, who were on student council in middle school after we moved on there, they were like, we're going to do a Christmas performance for someone, and we're going to put you guys into groups. What do you want to do? And my friend and I, who were in that original choir, we were like, well, why don't we just do I'll Be Home for Christmas again? And I feel so fucking bad for him, because that's another one where, like, on the day itself, I couldn't attend school because I was sick. So, if you're out there, man, I'm sorry. I'm real sorry about that. But, yeah. As far as Christmas memories go, the only ones that I really have to share anymore are the ones relating to this game. You know, in my original playthrough. And I will get to that, but I do want to talk beforehand about, you know, spending time with my friends. That's the common theme with these, but there's a second playthrough that I did that I also want to mention, as well as for the first Super Mario World. So I've mentioned plenty of times before, in previous LPs and whatnot, that I did a bunch of playthroughs of Super Nintendo games doing various challenges and whatnot 3 years ago. So, among them were runs of Super Mario World and Yoshi's Island here. They were both time challenges. Now, I would run through the notes of what, you know, went down and whatnot that Josh collected. But like, I was surprised when I was reading them back. In the first Super Mario World, there isn't many to actually, like, go over. But some amusing happenings that happened there was, I apparently kept calling secret exits secret endings. I do remember that. And much like my original playthrough, Rabid would play some 80s music when I was, you know, in a jam, doing a bit bad on certain levels. This was back during our Skype days, so he could actually like play music while I was playing the game. That's something Discord needs to get on. God damn it. But that's aside from the point. Apparently something that happened was that I had a penchant for ending levels at the end of a song. So that's rather interesting. One that I remember vaguely that he put down was that I somehow died finishing a level getting a secret exit. Which I'm sure made, you know, younger me very happy. But that's one. And the last note here for the first Super Mario World is that I apparently died in Castle 1. So, yeah, that's it for those. But it was a successful challenge. I did clear the game. I had a 5-hour time limit. I cleared it with just under 20 minutes to spare. For Yoshi's Island, the notes here are the first one says Josh becomes Brandon's only trusted friend, giving him a much-needed one-up in a bonus game. So thanks, Josh. I'm sorry I yelled at you earlier in the first part. Now, something else that's written down is that Rabid again played music when I was in a jam. And for whatever reason, he was playing, like, really edgy-sounding songs. Which I found hilarious, considering the aesthetic and themes of Yoshi's Island. An amusing note that I had down here was that during my fight with Salvo the Slime, somebody called him Charlie McFornicate. because of all the little slimes that come down during the boss fight. So that's fun. Like, goddamn, I wish that I knew who called him that. Another fun happening was that this is a quote that I said. I said, "That's the Brandon way. Make the worst decisions," which still holds true today. I feel, you know. You just saw one now. I tend to make some stupid decisions. At one point, apparently, I got very frustrated with Mario and losing him. And I'll just say it the way that Josh typed it because I think that it's pretty funny. It says, "Brandon gets upset with fictional baby, makes Brandon hope he never reproduces. This was a personal request to like put down into the notes, which calls into question Brandon's own mental stability." I think that's one of my favorite things in this document. One thing that happened was I called for a time break because like I needed to go to the bathroom or something. But Josh waited a few fucking seconds after I paused to actually stop the timer. So he wasted a good few seconds, and I remember us having a laugh about that, him being a complete and total troll. One thing here is, apparently I was getting frustrated at one of those flowers that spits out eggs for you. And I said something to the tune of, "Could you fucking spit out some goddamn eggs already? Jesus Christ." Which Josh compared to the Darkside Phil quote, "Do you want to play the fucking game?" I do not appreciate that comparison, Josh. You're no longer my friend. Which, I guess, is a great transition into the next point, where it says, "Brandon's soul vanishes as Josh reminisces about anti-tobacco commercials." Which I can believe. Josh will sometimes talk about Canadian PSAs, which are, like, really fucked up. usually, so I can understand that. The next one here, another comparison to the worst LPer of all time. He says, Darkside Brandon slams his controller and then maintains he did not. And I will maintain to this day that I did not throw down my fucking controller. I slammed my desk with my hand, you know, like that. So, Josh, you're wrong. You're wrong, son. And then, during the fifth world, I remember having some trouble on the ice, like falling off and whatnot. And apparently Rabbit and I resolved to never run dangerously on icy surfaces, which is something that everyone should do. Be safe out there when you're on the ice. Another direct quote from me that I find rather funny is that I think I got a bit quippy with Rabbit out of frustration, and then I apologized to him. I said, "I'm sorry, Rabbit. I'm sorry, me, Jesus. Not to say that I'm Jesus." I fucking love how I clarified that. And then, another thing that happened was, apparently we discussed the possibility of a Christopher Walken official Let's Play channel, which Josh said, if this has not happened by the time we do this retrospective video, which was a plan that didn't really work out, get on that, kidnappers. I'm gonna have to hurry along here. But, the next note was a quote from Rabbit. We were getting really annoyed with the squeaky noise, the constant squeaky noise that is made on icy surfaces and some enemies make and stuff. Rabbit said in Guantanamo Bay they have the squeak sound from Yoshi's Island as torture, which you know what, the sound sounds accurate. And then Rabbit made baby noises to give a voice to Salvo the slime. And one thing that took up a big chunk of time is that maze level that I talked about earlier. So, yeah. Again, you gotta really know what you're doing in that one. There was another level right near the end where I was falling down quite a bit, and I had lost Baby Mario by that point. But thankfully the game was nice to me and sent Baby Mario down to where I was so that I could pick him back up and finish the level. So that was nice. Ultimately in that run I failed the challenge with 30 seconds left. You know, after I died on Baby Bowser one time, and I had just enough to squeak through a run, but unfortunately I missed some egg throws, and I beat the boss with 30 fucking seconds left. It was really frustrating. Speaking of Baby Bowser, we're here in the final level. You saw with the doors, it's much like Bowser's Castle in the first Super Mario World. Where, you know, a different door will give you a different possibility. There's actually, a kinda sorta boss, behind one of the doors. I think it's door number 3, where it's actually a gold, tap-tap, you know, the big one. He chases after you in a room. You can't really defeat him. You can throw eggs at him to, stun him, but, you can't really defeat him, per se. So, yeah, that's basically how this level works after a helicopter section in front. And in this, basically, you're in this room, and Kamek is appearing here and there. So, what I like to do is I try to, you know, get up close to Kamek so that he doesn't use his magic against me. Which works in most instances. If you get close up to him before he uses his magic, he'll just disappear. Because, you know, he doesn't want any actual piece of Yoshi. He's a pussy. You know, so he'll try to attack from afar. But so long as you try to get up in his face, he'll leave you alone. he only shoots off his magic like 1 or 2 times. You know, while I'm in this room. So, yeah. I guess one of the things that I can start talking at least about my original playthrough. We started it, I think, soon after I beat the original Super Mario World, but it took me like 2 years to do. So, like, I remember learning the game with the guys with me, and you know that was a bit of an experience. In fact, like during my first playthrough, I was actually like using the Y button to run like I would in normal Mario, even though that's not something you need to do at all. So, like, I was trying to play this like a normal Mario game at first, almost. So, you know, that was pretty amusing. I'll mention more of that, you know, like, after the boss fights here. But now we're getting Baby Bowser. So, you know, it's not just Mario and Luigi who were babified in here. We got Baby Bowser too, and I love him. You know, he just wanted to go sweepy by. But unfortunately, he can't have nice things, and neither can Kamek, who got like fucking absolutely obliterated by that. But he's gonna look at Yoshi, be absolutely amazed by him, and want himself a ride. So he's gonna knock Baby Mario off of us. You can't avoid this. I'm just an idiot. So yeah. The first fight against Baby Bowser is a matter of timing and using your ground pounds. So he knows how to use the move too, but like he can jump on you, and that can make you lose Baby Mario. But like he'll ground pound, and you can do it too, but it's a matter of like when you do it and how far away from him that you are. It's not too bad. But, you know, once you hit him 3 times like that, Kamek is going to, once again, make his monster grow. So with a couple of streaks of magic, you know, Baby Bowser, oh man, it causes the castle to crumble down, and we get ourselves, quite frankly, one of the most epic final bosses, I think, in video game history. Like, the setting and atmosphere of this, as well as the music, is so fucking awesome. Look at Baby Bowser in the background there. Like, not only is that like a really good use of Nintendo's Mode 7 graphics and like the Super FX chip too, I think. Like, I don't know, it just looks so imposing and fucking cool. You lose all your normal eggs, you gotta wait for these balloons to come by with giant ones. And it can be tough to judge where you should throw it based on the cursor, but I find that you get used to it. Like, you know, I almost hit him there. Generally, it's a good idea to let the cursor go up for like a second or two. But of course, that will change depending on how far away or how close he is to you. So you're basically just doing that for a good chunk of time in the boss fight. He will eventually cause more of the platforms to break down. So it gets tougher in that way too. So like we got ourselves like a cool like look and everything. A great final boss theme. Holy shit. And you know, some decent challenge as well. He's gonna get like way closer to us, and on the final hit, he's actually going to like advance no matter what, and it's a timed thing on the final hit. So like if he walks up to you all the way, it'll break apart, and you only have a split second to actually beat him. But you know, it's a pretty fucking fun boss fight. But you know, Merry Christmas, motherfucker, as I like to say, for the final hit. And then I'm going to barely, like, scrape the death plane. Like, I just barely avoided it falling down. I'm very amused by that, but it's a fun-ass boss fight against Baby Bowser. I absolutely love it. And quite frankly, I think that it's a really good way to beat the game. So, yeah. The day is saved. We fucking did it. Baby Bowser has been baby humbled. God, that was fucking lame. And Kamek's gonna take him off, so, we've done it. Here, ladies and gentlemen, we have saved Baby Luigi, as well as the stork. The brothers have been reunited, so, hell yeah. Take it away, KN.
Thus, due to the marvelous teamwork of the Yoshi clan, the twins are reunited. The captured stork is freed by Yoshi, and sets about his duty and finally makes the long-awaited delivery. Thank you, Yoshi. The twins will meet the parents soon.
And that, my friends, is the final boss fight for Yoshi's Island. Just this one little cutscene here to finally completely liberate the island. And I'm just going to get into my final thoughts now. Because this game, I feel, if Super Mario World 1 is like the best 2D platformer ever made, in my personal opinion, this is also high up there. Just of all time, and especially on the Super Nintendo. Oh my god. As we get into this beautiful, beautiful credits sequence, I just personally want to express my love for this game. You know, it's got such a lovely look, great music, just a wonderful use of the Super Nintendo's technology, and above all else, it is just an extremely fun game. The people at Nintendo thought that Yoshi would make a unique protagonist for a platformer, and I think that they really, hit the nail on the head with that one. They made it like just as fun as you would expect of something from a Mario game, but they also made it very unique with the egg throwing and the flutter jumps and all that. Like, it is a fucking fantastic showing of potential and whatnot that they put out here. It's just a fucking fantastic game. I love the absolute shit out of it. And just going back to like my original playthrough, I went through that original period near the end of 2015, hanging out with Rabbit and Josh playing this, and I had a great time with them. But there was also that period where I thought that my grandma's computer couldn't handle like calling with the guys. So I think I did like a world and a half over the course of a few months the next year, doing like worlds 3 and 4, if I'm not mistaken. But, anytime that I would come back to this game, it was an absolute fucking blast. And of course, like I mentioned before, I finished this with these guys, on Christmas Day itself. Which is why I wanted to do this particular playthrough for the holiday. I still very much remember that day. I fought Baby Bowser a few times, and I was feeling like I really had it, at the end. So that's why I said, Merry Christmas, motherfucker, when I threw the last egg at him. And thankfully I timed that very right. If I had lost the boss fight or timed that incorrectly, it would have come off completely shitty. But I'm glad that I got the timing down when I did, because my god, it's fucking fantastic. It was such a badass moment and so gratifying to beat this game that I love oh so much. So yeah, let's take it back to KN just one more time.
Looks like they have arrived where Mom and Dad live. Heroes are born. The end.
In my opinion, best ending in a video game of all time. You know, it's just like the game said, we got 2 heroes born. It's fucking fantastic, you know, it's just very heartwarming, you know, after all that baby Mario had been through, being brought home by Yoshi. You know, we finally rescue Luigi, we finally rescue the stork, he's able to get us to our parents, you know, and the parents so excited, raising them high, you know, heroes are born and all that. It's so fucking heartwarming. And I don't care if Yoshi's New Island retconned it. Fuck that game. You know, we got this. It's fucking fantastic, and does a great job at building up the beginning of the legacy of the Super Mario Brothers. I fucking love the ending. Good God. But, you know, it's an ending befitting of this game. I went, you know, at length talking about how good that it is, how they really made good use of the Super Nintendo's technology to, you know, make the best game possible. And I believe that they did put a lot of love and care into this one, you know. I didn't mention it before, but in that interview where they talked about, you know, the graphics and all that I cited earlier, there was a point in development, they said, where there were only 3 people working on it after all the senior members moved on to start making Super Mario 64. They got some help soon after, but just the fact that there was a time period where only 3 people were working on the game, I think is a big testament to the love and the care that they put into it over the 4 years that they went and developed it. So just a fantastic piece of work by the guys at Nintendo. And that's the reason why this is one of my favorite games. And, you know, I'm really glad that a game like this, one that I love this much, you know, it's almost on the level of Sonic Adventure 2 and Super Mario World. I'm glad that a game like this could be the last LP that I might do for a while. You know, I've been dropping some hints here and there, but I've actually now run out of games that I can beat and record. So, you know, I don't plan on retiring from LPs like Clement did, but at the same time, I don't have any I can do right now. You know, so I'm gonna have to look for some games that you know, I might be able to improve in and beat, or potentially if it takes long enough, I might have to wait until I have a setup to record from my consoles so that I can do some games from there. But if this ends up being my last LP ever, or, you know, at least for the next long while, you know, I hope that you guys thought that it was entertaining and that I gave you a good experience with it. So, yeah. There will still be extra videos, at least. So, LPs won't be dead, just, you know, as far as the playthroughs themselves are concerned. But, yeah, I just love this game so much that I'm glad that I could put it in this spot, you know. So, I would like to give some thanks for, you know, everybody who's watched an LP of mine, you know, for the last 6 years I've been doing them. You know, whether you were there at the beginning, you know, first saw me somewhere in the middle, or caught up with me, you know, right at the end, you know, just thank you all so much. And some special thanks for this LP specifically. I've got to, you know, give another big thanks to KN for the narration in this one, as well as Miracle, Rabbit, and Josh for also appearing during the little text box gag. And I also want to give a thanks to Courtney, Project S&T, for originally taking the role of the narrator. She wasn't able to record it, though, and, you know, KN, who was originally going to read one of those text boxes, I got her to do the narration instead, and that opened the window for Miracle to be in the playthrough. So to my friends, thank you guys for being in this one so much. I thought that it would be a really nice treat to get my friends involved in that way for an LP that, again, it might be my last one for a while, so I wanted to make it very extra special with that and the skit, and I just hope that you all enjoyed it. So, yeah. I don't think I have anything more to say, so I'm going to sign off. So the next game I LP, I simply don't know. But I hope that if I get there, that you'll join me there, and I hope that you enjoyed this one once again. So, with that said, I have been Skull902. Thank you for watching, and have yourselves a wonderful holiday.